All right, welcome to scenario 9. For today, we are demonstrating essentially data exchange between the TDEi and OpenStreetMap. OSM stands for OpenStreetMap, and the ability for third-party consumers to consume TDEi-based data that was entered into OSM. So the overview is a third-party application developer like One Call, One Click, utilizing both sidewalk data from OSM and GTFS data from public sources to provide enhanced trip planners. The sidewalk data was generated by Imagery Analytic Program, verifying and vetted by local cities or communities or hand vetters in OSM and contributed to OpenStreetMap. The third-party application is then able to provide users information that might not have the ability to participate in services offered by other mobile applications. So what is Find a Ride? Find a Ride is a trip planner organized by HopeLink and Washington State DOT. The vision is to coordinate a transportation network that allows all people to access the services they need. Find a Ride includes information about a wide range of transportation resources, including on-demand transportation. So it consumes GTFS Flex streams, including the 32 GTFS Flex streams that we contributed to the collection of through this effort, the ITS for Us effort, as well as the HopeLink effort. And we ensure that this satisfies the mobility needs of veterans, seniors, people with disabilities, low-income individuals, and others through the eligibility-based services that they are have access to. Increased awareness of simplified access to transportation services allowed site users to connect with service providers and community resources. So this trip planner does not sell anything, but rather it makes the services discoverable and available where they currently are, for example, not found on mass-produced applications. So the key users here are low-income transit users, municipal infrastructure owner-operators, transit agencies, and third-party application developers. What we will demonstrate through this scenario is the data exchange between OSM and TDEi, and that a third-party developer can use the TDEi data through OSM as the example of One Call, One Click. I will motivate this scenario by saying that we've established a pipeline for sidewalk and transit data to both we do the data collection, but then be able to standardize the data in OSM and enrich and share it through OpenStreetMap. And we demonstrate the possibility of using that data to support decision makers, both for trip planners as well as policy recommendations. As far as system context, this makes heavy use of our APIs, specifically for API data consumers. Let's go ahead with a demonstration. So first, I will demonstrate that we have provided data exchange with OSM. We are contributing data from the TDEi back to OSM in order to distribute to other applications. There is the challenge that the governance, the community governance of OSM restricts solely machine produced data. And so it has to be vetted by community first. As a result, we partnered with Meta. Meta is the producer of the Rapid editor into OSM. The idea behind Rapid is for specifically machine generated data as well as public data that is owned by governments who may be able to publish that data but aren't able to hand vet all of it into OSM. The idea is to take those data sets, make them available for visualization through the Rapid editor, and allow hand vetters to use one element at a time to incorporate that into OSM. So I will go ahead and demonstrate that to you right now. I'm going to flip over to Rapid. This is what you see when you log into the Rapid editor. I will expand this so you can get a little bit better visualization here. So if you go to rapideditor.org and you get started. All right, I will go ahead and demonstrate how when I log into Rapid version 2.5, I can look for the data sets that are available to me from which to grab and assess data as an OSM better. And if I look for footways, you'll see that synthetic footways from data are available, as well as City of Seattle and Multnomah County from us. If you go to the information for this data set, you will see that this was prepared for addition to OpenStreetMap through the Tasker Center for Accessible Technology, funded by the ITS for Us program of the Washington State DOT. So right now, this is the data set that they are vetting, but we've also entered all 6 counties. So you'll be able to see that when I choose to add that data set and say, okay, it is now part of the data that I'll be able to assess. So let's go ahead and go to Portland, Oregon. Oh, it did upload my data. It's allowed for my edits. That's great. Okay, so there is a block here, and we can see that the current data that's found here is just the point information, whereas the information that Open Sidewalks had detected here are actual marked crossings. I will go ahead and I'll add this feature. I will connect it. Selecting the crossing element, I add this feature. Then I note that I need to move it a little bit. It's not too bad. I will move and click this together. And I have just added this crossing. It is marked and signalized no, and that's what we detected through. And so as an OSM user, this is a big boon for me because I don't have to tag any of these elements. I just moved it into the right location. But let's just say that I can save it. And feature, I'll go ahead and save it. And I saved that information. Great. So as noted, the TDEi has completed an MOU with Meta to be a regular provider for Rapid data. When they choose to, as I just did, Rapid users can elect to review the data from the TDEi and commit it to OSM, which I just did. Now, back to one call, one click. I'd like to show that the system integrates information from OSM. I want to demonstrate all of our data is what has been contributed in Mount Vernon into OSM. So it's worthwhile to go into, I'm navigating over to OSM. You see all of the sidewalk infrastructure. This was the contributions of our mappers. I can go into edit And if I show some of the history of the elements around here, for instance, right there, both Nick Bolton was a founder of Open Sidewalks, and Glassman is the local contributor that has been mapping in our OSW style for years. And so this infrastructure is what's currently being consumed when I use the find a ride trip locator. Right, so this is the stop that we just viewed on OSM. And we can see that this is where it lands us at the end of that trip. And we can see that all of this data were the contributions of Nick Bolton and Glassman, etc. And so this is the infrastructure that is currently being used to produce these routes on the HopeLink trip planner. Lastly, we can show the sandbox and navigate from Seattle and Bellevue to customize the travel profile. Okay, so this is an actual scenario. I had to take my car in to the shop and then had to get down to Children's. Hospital. I'd like to provide certain travel options. I am ADA paratransit eligible, and the indication that I have not. And I would like to have room for a motorized wheelchair, door-to-door service, and I am allowed to walk. So this trip planner allows for customizations of both what eligibility services do I have access to, as well as some of my personal details regarding travel. This may be a little longer than I'd like. Okay. So I can take a look at this trip, but for the purposes of the walking parts, I would like to choose the metro trip so we can take a look at the walking information. This is the step-by-step. Let's take a look at the map. So if I take a look at the map right there, you'll see that once I am off the bus, which takes place right there, the information that's being used is the OpenStreetMap information on sidewalks. And on the other side of the trip, indeed, the walking tour will demonstrate that we have this path information. It's pretty detailed here, which side of the street to go on, and to the bus onboarding location. Okay. And this concludes our third-party developer application using TDEi data. We noted the polyline on the map is adjacent to the road on Google Maps that's using this sidewalk data. All right. Thank you for your time.